Okay, woo! Our next poetry whore, we're welcoming back Desdemona Goose with more recipes.
Okay, this time I'm gonna bring in the butcher. He should have used his knife on me. It would have been cleaner. In his way, he cut into me deeper than any cold steel sharpened cleaver ever could, dismembered me into parts as irrevocably as any saw ever might, split me open with his never-loving hands, tore away my skin, ripped through my muscle, and broke the bones to expose the inside of me to his seething eyes. Feeling drawn and quartered and raw, I lay vulnerable on his butcher block. He was salivating. I watched my blood run out of my body and my guts skillfully removed from my core. His stomach rumbled. With the final stroke of his sharp-edged, twisting tongue, my heart, my precious, priceless heart, was masterfully severed, leaving behind the cavity where only he now lives, dressed in death that hangs over his body, alone in the empty space of my corpse. Hey, listen, I warned you, all right? And she, the meat, once alive but freshly slaughtered, I wish to be the perfect meal. The only gift I have left to give is my flesh, so be clean and exact with your blade. Make your portions generous. Season me, because I do not wish to be eaten. I want to be devoured. So if you have a private reading with me, I will reveal what's beneath the patch. Wait, this patch. Just clarifying, it's only $3.
You won't see it any other way.
Okay, but I do cover other occupations besides the 3 men in the boat, and so I will just give you something a little bit more joyful to finish this out, and this is the sailor and the sea, so my ode. He walks the planks of the dock, half as ancient as the sea. He was born before Poseidon. Deep cracks on his face, so filled with crusty salt that it's impossible for him now to smile. But his eyes sparkle like the shallows from all the years of riding her, before his face was dried and tasted like seaweed. He set off from this dock as a young man, sure and calculated and relying on his instruments. Adventurous and brave, his navigator spoke the word of God, charting a course to infinite destiny, finding a current, mastering the open sea, certain to make history. And he hoped his anchor would rarely see the depths long enough to keep him in one place. But she was wiser still. She would not be tamed. She was twice as ancient as Poseidon, the sea. She would drag him down, envelop him, and make him her own. He might even die trying to match her. He would be claimed. Here's the sea. Now the sailor knows nothing of the word of God worth charting a course upon. Only her words are worth remembering. Her words whispered in the crashes of waves, blown loudly into his sail, screamed from the lungs of drowning men. She taught him how to listen this way. She broke him. You can see it in his legs, bowed from all the swaying he had to endure, squall after squall. She taught him compromise this way. She burned him. You can see it in his face, his neck, his shoulders, with her unbearable, insufferable stillness on days when the sun was set on torture and she offered nowhere to hide. She taught him patience this way. She hardened him. You can see it in his hands and his feet and his knees, calloused from the rope and the sail and the nets, in constant action to stay afloat. She taught him perseverance that way. She burdened him, clinging to the mast, bailing water, battening hatches every time she angered and stormed. She taught him strength this way. He keeps watch now for her tides. He prays for her never to rage and churn. He has learned at last to give in. He accepts her force and bends to